The UK managers lobby for approval of blockchain traded funds. This is the article that got me going today. So, Britain has kind of their own asset management group, just like the United States does. And they have their own similar entity like the SEC that allows you to do certain things with investments and not do certain things. And so what's happening in Britain is they're applying to their equivalent of the SEC, which they call their Financial Conduct Authority, so that they can trade funds. And instead of recording it in a traditional way, they want the ability to use blockchain technology to record the transactions that are happening. So they're pushing the government to establish a new class of fund employing blockchain technology, highlighting how financial firms are now tapping into this kind of technology, make things faster, better, and easier to accomplish. So it's what they call the Investment Association that represents this group of fund managers. And they're calling on regulators to approve blockchain traded funds. Now, what happens is on the blockchain, they issue digital tokens that represent shares in these funds. It's totally typical that when you invest in a fund, you have a certain number of shares in the fund, and those shares now are going to be recorded on the blockchain, and the blockchain then is going to be connected to an application eventually that users will be able to log into their application like you would with Morgan Stanley or Fidelity Funds or any one of those places that usually have a web presence and they have a mobile app that you can get into and look at the balances and all that stuff. So all this is going to do is it's going to record what data and information is available to the user concerning the things that they are responsible for. In other words, they've invested in a fund. It's going to show them how much they've invested and what the value of their current investment is. So hopefully these blockchain traded funds, or sometimes they're called tokenized or on-chain funds, will be rolled out as early as the end or the second quarter of 2023. So hopefully they're going to get regulatory approval before the end of this year. And once they get that regulatory approval, then they can move forward. So this is kind of what started me on the bunny trail. Now, this same article then, let's introduce Franklin Templeton, our next stop on this chain that we're going to go down. Now, Franklin Templeton was referenced in the last article about the UK seeking approval because Franklin Templeton was already well down the path to start doing this. So they planned to have mutual fund tokenization, and they were going to put it on the Stellar blockchain. Now, Stellar is just another cryptocurrency that is out there. It's a blockchain that's a lot like Ethereum. So what they are going to tap into is the Stellar's ability to record transactions, issue a token representing the transaction and representing the data about the transaction, and be able to have it available on a distributed ledger technology for the back-end system. So what it plans to do is move all of the ownership records onto the Stellar blockchain. It says in the future, the best article I could find was in 2021. So they're probably a little bit further down the road on this journey than what I'm able to share here. But Franklin Templeton is obviously seeking to modernize their offerings by creating a digital track record on a distributed ledger that will record all of the shareholders' funds. Okay? So we go from here, and in that same article, it turns out that what they do at Franklin Templeton is based on the underlying technology of the Calistone data that they're using now. What it is a company that back in 2019 already launched a blockchain fund management platform. So what is happening is Calastone has a blockchain platform that manages the information about the funds. So everything I've been talking about from the UK to Franklin Templeton is already being done at Calastone. So it calls it the distributed market infrastructure. It helps up to 1,800 clients currently to manage transactions in the mutual fund sector. So here now we've traced it from the UK wanting to do it to Templeton already well invested in it to Calastone being the one that's actually providing the service itself. The UK company, that's interesting. This company happens to be embedded within the UK. No wonder the UK fund managers are asking if they can utilize this technology. They currently save the industry 3.4 billion euros, or actually pounds. Sorry, the symbol is a pound there, or about 4.3 billion total dollars. It is the technology that underpins all that the other fund managing companies do that participate in there. So it claims that it's the largest use of distributed ledger technology in the financial services sector. Well, we'll see. And I'm sure if they're one of the first people that jumped out on this technology, that they're probably pretty well solid in their statement that they're the largest, and they'll keep that first mover advantage that you get when you're usually the first to use a new technology. So let's take a look at that technology real quick. While Franklin Templeton was looking at the Stellar blockchain, Calastone Company used the Ethereum blockchain. So they issued a new token on the Ethereum blockchain, which is what Ethereum's meant for. Just like Stellar, you can create new tokens on the Stellar blockchain as well. So they used what they call proof of authority. And later on, other videos have information on what different kinds of consensus mechanisms, that's what they call proof of authority, is a consensus mechanism on a private permissioned network. They're going forward with choosing Ethereum in this case. They went forward with choosing Ethereum. At that time, it was the most mature that they had to offer. That's what they originally platformed for. But Calastone wants to be agnostic in blockchain networks. In other words, they don't want to be beholden to just the Stellar network or some third-party network like Ethereum, where Ethereum could make decisions that might be adverse to it, or even Stellar could make decisions that are adverse to their network here at Calastone's network. So they want to be agnostic. So they're looking at Hyperledger Fabric, which is the same technology that's used by IBM when they issue their blockchain technology to various companies.